Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. And today again I'm doing this video shoot in my car. It's two things, mate. First of all, the sun is out, and I love when the sun is out in England. We don't get it that often, especially in March. We've got 3 days of gorgeous weather down here in London before it goes back to being normal, before the cold weather comes in just in time for Easter. And the reason I'm doing the car and not the garden is because we're getting our conservatory done. So the guys are out there, Blackpool supporters. When your builders come, you always talk football and find out what club they support. So they're all Blackpool supporters. You know, they're quite knowledgeable on their football as well. So there's a lot of noise going on in the garden at the moment. That's why I couldn't do it there. But we're going to have a packed video today. We've got loads of transfer news to get through. We've got Aguero, we've got Haaland, we've got Lukaku, we've got Kanate, we've got Bakayoko, Tomori and Georgina. So loads of things to talk about today, guys. But before we get into the video, you know the drill. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? And please share this content so that everyone will know that Burton Ballers are about. Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah. So guys, news came in yesterday about Sergio Aguero, the worst kept secret actually, because everyone knew that this was going to be his last season at Manchester City, but it was confirmed by Manchester City, and Aguero put out a statement as well, thanking Manchester City for the time he's been at the club. And I realised 10 years he was at the club, so a massive servant. And what might have been, because Chelsea were close to he wanted Chelsea actually. He wanted Chelsea many years ago, but apparently there's some rumours. Some said that John Terry didn't quite rate him. Some said it was a case of the financial package that he wanted, Chelsea weren't prepared to pay, and we ended up with Torres. Yeah, guys, yeah. But you know what? Although, you know, well, I don't know what could have been or what might have been, you know, long term, Aguero probably would have been better for us. But the course of history, well, it was Torres who changed our course of history. Although he didn't have a great time with us. And I'm going to do a video soon of our 10 worst signing strikers. And he's going to be in there. I know it's going to be a bit of controversy for some people whether he should be in there or not, Torres, but I'll explain my reasons later. But if he wasn't here, or if Aguero was here, who knows whether we would have won the Champions League or not. You know, those events would have been totally different. So the fact that Torres did come and wasn't great, he has a few bits of success with us, and one of them was our greatest night in the Chelsea history. So for that reason, I probably wouldn't have changed the course of history, because, you know, I never in my lifetime did I think we will win the cup with the big ears, but we did, and Torres had a part to play in the semi-final and the final of that tournament. So yeah, as I said, Aguero going leaves an opening for Manchester City. So a lot of fans are getting a bit worried now, because they're thinking the fact that they're letting him go, they must have someone lined up, and those who think they think that Haaland is the man that they've got lined up. And Chelsea fans who were wishing for Haaland are saying, you know what, we can't compete financially with Manchester City, so looks like Manchester City are going to get their man. But I don't agree with that. I think Haaland isn't one who's motivated by money. I've mentioned it. If you haven't seen actually the phone-in that I did over the weekend regarding Haaland, Werner and Lukaku, give it a watch, guys, because it was a nice debate, you know, with some great opinions by the guys who were on the show. So it's worth watching, you know, on your walks. It's probably an hour and a half long, but when you're going on your lunchtime walk, enjoying the sunshine, just listen to that. Yeah. So, anyway, so Haaland, as I said, he wants to look at whoever's got the best project for him. So if he feels that Chelsea's project is more enticing to him than the Manchester City one, then that will decide where he goes. So nobody knows what he's decided yet. He's his own man, as he said. He could have joined Manchester United last season, but he chose the Dortmund. So not always is he going to take what seems to be the most attractive offer on board. He's going to be very measured in his next move. So, you know, we're still in with a chance, just as like Manchester City. I haven't given up hope on Haaland, and so, you know, but if he's not coming, then we have to have alternatives. So what can happen? Aguero at Chelsea, maybe. You know, there was talk about it earlier in the window. The window hasn't begun, but you know what I mean. Earlier on in the month, there was talk about Aguero coming to Chelsea on a free, and that Chelsea intermediaries have already had talks with him. Somebody else is saying that his PR agency are saying that it's not a good move for him of, you know, joining a rival. But again, that's just probably nonsense, because there's lots of rumours going around during this international break. Some you can believe, some you can't. So, you know, you have to dissect which ones you want to believe. So, and another alternative may be, because Chelsea are after Lukaku, another alternative could be that Sergio Aguero goes to Juventus on a free, because Juventus have got money problems at the moment. But if they get him on a free and then get money for Lukaku, maybe 50-60 million pounds, then that way they can balance the book. So there's quite a few twists and turns before the start of the season. There could be a merry-go-round of strikers. Me personally, I'm no inside information at the moment, but I could see Harry Kane going to Manchester City. Actually, Harry Kane needs a new move because he's not winning anything at Tottenham. I could see Aguero probably joining somewhere like a Juventus or something, and I could see maybe it's my heart thinking, but I could see Haaland joining Chelsea, especially if we make top four. But that's just my gut. That's just, I said, no inside information on that whatsoever. Moving on away from the striker situation now, let's go into the defensive area now. Kanate, the RB Leipzig defender, he's been heavily linked with Chelsea in the past, but there's talks that he's close to joining Liverpool. But that was yesterday, and then today it said that Chelsea are still in with a shout for him. So do we, you know, again, we don't know. There's a lot of rumours about. So good defender, great defender. Someone close to him who's coached him before, he said he's got a touch of the Van Dijk's about him. He's very fast, powerful, grid on the ball. But the only problem with him is that he's injury prone. He's only played 17 games, I think, for RB Leipzig this season, so he's blighted with injury. So do we want to invest a lot of money on somebody who's getting these injuries so early in his career? I think he's 22 or something. So that'd be my only reservation about signing him. But obviously he's on Liverpool's radar at the moment. But it's a bit weird because Liverpool will go from one injury prone to another injury prone. Not Van Dijk, obviously, that was just one bad injury, but I'm talking about Gomez. Gomez is always injured a lot. So maybe they can play half the games each, half for Gomez, half for Kanate, but we'll see. But yeah, Chelsea are still looking at him. But so keep an eye out on that story, because as I said, there could be again different parts to play out in this story. And staying with defenders, one of our own, Tomori there's talk of obviously AC Milan, where he's excelling at the moment, who want to exercise is the buyout clause, but maybe they're trying to knock Chelsea down a bit, because in Italian football, as I said, a lot of teams haven't got that money. But Chelsea, I've seen how he's flourished at AC Milan. They may be asking for the actual agreed price on him, or they may want to take him back. Tomori was asked a question by Gazzetta dello Sport, and he says, you know, it's not his decision, which is interesting actually, because I thought that it was agreed. Maybe it's when he said it's not his decision, it may mean that AC Milan may be struggling to come up with a financial package. So he said he's happy there and he'll like to stay, but again, we will have to see whether they can sort out a deal to get him in. Talking about other loanees in Italy, we're moving on to Bakayoko now. Bakayoko, there's conflicting stories about Bakayoko as well, because I heard the other day that Napoli don't want to take up the option to buy him, so he's going to be coming back to Chelsea. And I think it was yesterday, then they said, yeah, they're happy with him and they'll like to keep him. And then today, another story saying that they want him to go. So we just don't know, because I keep saying, because it's the international break, all these stories come and go. Is he going? Is he not? Is he staying? Is he going? Is he staying? So, take whatever report is. No, it's a silly season at the moment, and people are just reporting all sorts. So I don't know. I've got no. I don't know whether he's going to stay or whether he's going to go. As that song says, should I stay or should I go? I don't know. And finally, Jorginho. Oh, it's a bit of a rhyme going on. Should I stay or should I go? I don't know. And let's talk about Jorginho. Okay, right. So Jorginho now, he's always talked about his fondness of returning to Napoli one day. There's a lot of talk that Napoli are going to reappoint Sarri, his father, the father of Jorginho, and Jorginho's saying that Napoli are very dear to him and he would like to return one day. He's been criticising the British weather. He said there's no sun. Look, Jorginho, mate, the sun's out today. Look, it's there. So we do get sun in London, but obviously not as much as we have in Italy. So he said we don't know what the sun is, but yeah, I think we do know what the sun is. Yeah. So he's kind of vying to go back to Napoli. He's been good this season, especially since Tuchel's come in, and I think is it CIS? He's a top player in England at the moment, according to their stats or something that they've done. So the stats are, there's stats and there's the eye test and there's other things to judge a footballer on, because stats are not always the best way of judging somebody. You can make 70 passes, for instance, in a game, but they may just be 72-yard passes, and it could be 100% pass rate, for instance. So you've got to look at more than stats sometimes. Goals, obviously, and assists are clear, but when you're looking at passing percentage, again, you have to look deeper into it than just the passing. So, but if he wants to go, then although he's been good for us, if his heart's set at Napoli, then off you go then, back to Napoli. We are looking at some alternatives anyway, so we're looking at a couple of guys. One guy is Brazilian guy, is it Menino, I think his name is. He's a versatile player. He can play as a holding midfielder. I think he can play as a right back. Excellent passer of the ball, great defensively. From what I hear, I don't profess to have seen him week in, week out, so I'm just going by what I've read and what I've seen. So I'm not on that scale, I'm not an expert, so don't take my opinion, but these are the things that he can offer. Apparently he's still fairly young, but he's as I said, physically imposing and can probably, from what I'm hearing, pass the ball better than Jorginho. But that's in the Brazilian league. When you come to the Premier League, defending is totally different, so we can't look at compare one league to another, so expect him to do this and that, and then that's what we do a lot. We sort of big people up, and when they come to Chelsea we say yeah you can do this and this and this, but once the reality hits and they play in the Premier League, it's not quite as it seems, and so a bit of caution when we're looking at bringing in players. So that's it, guys. I try to condense 8 stories into 14-minute video. So yeah, I think I've succeeded. So what's your opinions on all these stories? Aguero, Haaland, Lukaku, Kanate, Bakayoko, Tamori, Georgina. Comment below, guys, and let us know what you think. And don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications to be notified whenever we make a new video. And if you're in London or wherever there's sunshine, just go out and enjoy a bit of the rays. I'm going to be doing that later, so take care. Bye bye.